Hello, my wonderful listeners. I hope you are all doing well. I most certainly am. I can't believe it is the season finale of McFly's Movie House. It has been a busy first season. I am so grateful for everyone who has come on, from all of my friends who are just so delightfully insightful. They have so much to contribute to conversation, to all the phenomenal filmmakers whom I truly admire and had a chance to speak to. All of them were just people that I had on my list of interviewees I've been dying to talk to, and I got that opportunity. So it's really been an enriching and rewarding experience for myself. But with that being said, I'm pretty excited for a break too. And my focus for the next little while will be turning towards some new projects and partnerships that I've had in the works. You'll be hearing, or you'll know about a lot of them by the time this episode comes out. And I also want to use this opportunity to pick up my writing again. As some of you know, before I started this podcast journey, even before I was on TikTok and Instagram posting my video reviews, I used to write about films quite regularly, think pieces, film criticism. And I haven't had as much time for that since launching the podcast. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting back onto the good old pitching horse. So you can definitely expect some written work from me in the next little while as well. But of course, it's not all going to be work, work, work. I'm also looking forward to checking out some new releases, but also going through my physical media library here and watching some stuff that's just been sitting there waiting for me to crack them open since buying them. Sometimes I'll buy things during a sale or something, and I just won't get a chance to watch it right away. So there's definitely some titles here that deserve some love. But in terms of upcoming releases, it's sometimes a bit difficult to chat about those since, as you all know, we record these episodes a little bit in advance. Let me give you four new movies that I don't think will come out before this episode does, but are certainly on my radar. The first one is Luca Guadagnino's Queer, which is categorized as a historical romance drama. It's based on the 1985 novel of the same name by William S. Burroughs, and the letterbox description for this one is quite vague, really. All it says is Lee is an insecure man afflicted with heroin withdrawal who is driven to pursue a young man named Allerton. I don't know too much about this yet. This film has yet to premiere at any festivals, but if you're a fan of Guadagnino's movies, much how I am, then definitely keep this one on your radar. Next up is Andrea Arnold's Bird. This had its premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. I've only heard positive things from people whose reviews I personally love reading. And again, according to Letterboxd, 12-year-old Bailey lives with her single dad, Bug, and brother Hunter in a squat in North Kent. Bug doesn't have much time for his kids, and Bailey, who is approaching puberty, seeks attention and adventure elsewhere. This one has a newcomer in the role of Bailey, Kia Adams. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. I don't even know if she's done anything else, but we also get Barry Keoghan in the role of Bug. So I'm quite excited to see him. And from what I've seen by Andrea Arnold, I'm a fan of her stuff. I enjoyed Fish Tank from 2009. And then I really love 2016's American Honey. I'm actually due for a rewatch of that. Just a really, really beautiful film. But anyway, Bird will be distributed by Mubi in the US and the UK. I'm not sure when it comes out. I think perhaps November. So it'll be shortly after this episode. But all right, my final two new release picks I think are on many of our radars already, but I gotta mention them anyway. First up is, of course, Nosferatu by Robert Eggers. This is coming out on Christmas Day. I think I'm speaking for a lot of people that when we saw the trailer for this in the summer, we were all so excited. I certainly was. This is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, my most anticipated release of this year, and the cast is just stacked here. So I just genuinely can't wait for this to come out and just live and breathe Letterboxd for those first few days, refreshing and seeing what we're all thinking and saying. I was going to say it'll feel like Christmas Day, but it'll actually be Christmas Day. So what a delightful gift that we're being given. And lastly, for the new releases, is Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17, the sci-fi film that we all know has been met with so many delays. It's finally coming out on January 31st. I cannot wait. This is an adaptation of Edward Ashton's novel Mickey 7. I didn't give you a synopsis of Nosferatu because I kind of figured we all know, but let me give you one for Mickey 17, according to Letterboxd. Mickey 17 is an expendable, a disposable employee on a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world Niflheim. Maybe pronounced that wrong, who's to say? After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of its memories intact. That's all I know. I truly can't wait for this. Again, just a fantastic cast here too. Robert Pattinson plays the lead, and I'm a huge fan of Bong Joon-ho's filmography in general, so I have really high hopes for this one. Of course, as I said, with this little break I'm taking, I really want to dig into the old physical media collection, revisit some stuff I've seen, but also watch some other things from my collection that I haven't had a chance to check out. So let me first show you the stuff that I haven't seen. And if you're on YouTube, then you'll see me holding the titles here with my hands as well. First up is this A24 two-part release of Joanna Hogg's The Souvenir and The Souvenir Part 2. These are from 2019 and 2021, respectively. And from what I understand, The Souvenir is a semi-autobiographical story of Hogg's experiences at film school. And the story is a romantic drama that follows a film school student who starts a serious love affair with an older man. I don't know how much older, but older. And those closest to her do not approve. I don't know much else. I know Tilda Swinton is in this. I love her. We all do. And her daughter is also starring in this, Honor Swinton Byrne. So yeah, very stoked to watch these two films. They've been sitting in my collection for over a year now, I would say. And just a total aside, but look how fantastic the release for this is. I mean, it's just stunning. And I'm really hoping that the movie or movies will be just as great. So that is my first one there. Next up is a Ingmar Bergman movie that I own that I actually have not seen, and that is Smiles of a Summer Night from 1955. This is, again, just another movie that's been sitting in my collection. I have no idea why I haven't seen it yet, to be totally honest with you. But let me read the description from this Criterion release itself, because just looking at it now, this sounds absolutely fantastic. In turn of the century Sweden, four men and four women attempt to navigate the laws of attraction. During a weekend in the country, the women collude to force the men's hands in matters of the heart, exposing their pretensions and insecurities along the way. Chock full of flirtatious propositions and sharp witticisms delivered by such Swedish screen legends such as Gunnar Bjornstrand and Harriet Andersson, Smiles of a Summer Night is one of cinema's great erotic comedies. Ooh, that sounds excellent, and it's 108 minutes long. I will report back after I've finally given it a whirl. It also makes me wonder if our resident Bergman expert, Seth, has seen this one. I'm unsure. So that is number 2 or number 3 if you're going to count The Souvenir as part 1 and 2, which you should. But last on my list of movies to check out that I haven't seen in my collection is a 2017 film by Aki Kaurismäki, The Other Side of Hope. If you can see that there. As you all know, I'm a huge Kaurismäki fan, and I honestly think the reason that I haven't seen this one here is because I've been spending so much time playing catch up with his older films, save for Fallen Leaves from 2023, because I accidentally saw that at a film festival, and that's what got me hooked on his stuff initially. So yeah, just really, really looking forward to this one. I hear it's just typical Kaurismäki with that dry, yet kind of melancholy comedic style. So let me read the Criterion description of this for you as well. This wry, melancholic comedy from Aki Kaurismäki, a response to the ongoing global refugee crisis, follows two people searching for a place to call home. Khalid, a displaced Syrian, lands in Helsinki as a stowaway. Meanwhile, middle-aged Finnish salesman Wickstrom leaves his wife and his job and buys a conspicuously unprofitable restaurant. Khalid is denied asylum but decides not to return to Aleppo, and the paths of the two men cross fortuitously. As deadpan as the best of the director's work, and with a deep well of empathy for its down, but not out, characters, many of them played by members of Kaurismäki's loyal stock company, The Other Side of Hope is a bittersweet celebration of pockets of human kindness in an unwelcoming world. That last line, I mean, it's so true for so many of his films. He really champions the underdog, and I love him for that. So I have a feeling I'm going to adore this one as well. And again, beautiful artwork on that cover. Criterion just kill it every time with their releases. Now we're on to a few things that I want to revisit. First up is this Criterion here of Diabolique by Henri-Georges Clouzot from 1955. I watched this years ago and I picked up this DVD a while back and just never got a chance to watch what's probably a gorgeous restoration, but I'm really excited to. And get a load of this description on the back because if you don't know anything about it, this is just going to get you excited to watch it. Before Psycho, Peeping Tom, and Repulsion, there was Diabolique. This thriller from Henri-Georges Clouzot, which shocked audiences in Europe and the US, is the story of two women, the fragile wife and the willful mistress of the sadistic headmaster of a boys' boarding school, who hatch a daring revenge plot. With its unprecedented narrative twists and terrifying images, Diabolique is a heart-grabbing benchmark of horror filmmaking featuring outstanding performances by Simone Signoret, Vera Clouzot, and Paul Maurice. I do remember loving this one. It really is a horror classic, and I think everyone should watch it at least once. And lucky for all of you in the US and Canada, this is a regular staple on the Criterion channel. Or watch me eat my words by the time this episode comes out. But honestly, this has been on the channel for as long as I've had an account. So I definitely suggest watching it if you haven't had a chance to. Also, again, incredible cover. I sound like a broken record at this point, but I would love to have this one actually as a poster in my office. There is that. And lastly, the reason why I haven't rattled off too many titles from my collection is because I have 45-ish hours of something to revisit. And that, my friends, is all of Twin Peaks. Look how huge this box set is. I'm due for a rewatch of all three seasons. I'm also going to revisit Fire Walk with Me, but it is time. For those of you close to me, you know that Twin Peaks is my all-time favorite show. I've been obsessed with it since I was a teenager and accidentally stumbling on Laura Palmer's diary, which was written by Lynch's daughter, Jennifer. Read it way too young, kind of scarred me. We can get into that another day. But I've seen the first two seasons. I can't even count how many times at this point. As for the third, The Return, I only watched that when it came out. I never went back to it. Not that I didn't like it, I just got busy, I guess. And I'm really looking forward to it now. And The Return came out, honestly, a while ago now in 2017. So definitely due for a rewatch. And to complete all of this, it's all in this glorious collection. 16 discs, 42 hours here, which isn't including the movie, of course. So I'm going to be a busy, busy girl. It even says here on the back cover, grab a cup of coffee, a slice of cherry pie, and experience the legendary mystery again and again. Probably going to need an entire pie and a pot of coffee, but I will do it. And who knows what'll come out of this binge sesh? Maybe a podcast episode, maybe a long ass think piece. Who's to say? So that's kind of my game plan for the next little while. I will certainly be keeping busy, but I'm also curious to know what all of you are looking forward to watching in terms of new releases, perhaps some older movies that have been sitting on your watch lists forever. You know, DM me, leave a comment on my socials, let me know. I'm always eager to discuss. And if you've seen any of the pieces of physical media that I just yapped and yapped about, let me know about that too, because I always want to know your thoughts. So, as always, it's a blast recording this podcast. It's been a wonderful adventure and learning experience for me, and I'll see you all in the new year. So, thanks for sticking around, and we shall all be reunited again soon. Bye, everyone.